Welcome to my channel. HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. We have something truly special to talk about, something that might be hiding right in your pocket or collection. We're going to take a deep dive into the fascinating world of the United States of America Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1976. You may think, it's just a penny. But what if I told you this penny could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? Well, buckle up, because we're going to explore everything there is to know about this incredible coin, from its rich history to its design, minting, and of course, its current market value. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just starting to explore the world of numismatics, you'll find this penny to be an absolute gem. Its significance is tied not just to its age, but also to the rich context of American history and the milestones of its time. In the next few minutes, I'll guide you through the story behind this coin, its design, and the fascinating details that make it a prized collector's item. By the end, you'll understand why it's not just any ordinary penny. And if you're lucky enough to own one of these in the right condition, you may even be holding on to a small treasure worth up to $50,000. To truly appreciate the 1976 penny, we first need to understand the context in which it was minted. 1976 was not just another year in American history. It marked the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a major milestone that sparked celebrations nationwide. The United States was commemorating its bicentennial, reflecting on the nation's growth and achievements. In this spirit of reflection and patriotism, the U.S. Mint produced several special coins for 1976. While many collectors know about the famous bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins that were redesigned to honor Independence Hall, fewer people may realize that the penny, while not drastically redesigned, still held special significance. The 1976 Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny, though similar in design to other pennies, carried with it the weight of national pride and a tribute to the country's founding. The coin may seem unassuming, but the impact of the bicentennial year played a pivotal role in its production. The 1976 penny stands as a piece of history, marking 2 centuries of American independence. While it may not have undergone a radical redesign like the bicentennial quarter, the symbolism behind the 1976 coin is deeply connected to the celebrations of liberty and the strength of the United States as a nation. Let's break down the design of the 1976 penny in greater detail. On the obverse side of the coin, we have the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by artist Victor David Brenner. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, was immortalized in this coin design back in 1909. The image of Lincoln was chosen due to his pivotal role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and his significance in American history. The portrait, which features Lincoln facing left, is well known for its realistic portrayal. Brenner's depiction is finely detailed, capturing the distinct features of Lincoln's face, including his prominent beard and stoic expression. This design is one of the most iconic coin portraits in the world and has remained unchanged for over a century. On the reverse of the 1976 penny, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which has been featured on the reverse of the penny since 1959. The memorial's design, crafted by artist Frank Gasparo, shows a front view of the famous structure located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The memorial itself is an enduring symbol of Lincoln's legacy, serving as a tribute to the president's life and contributions. The image of the memorial captures the grandeur of this national monument, a symbol of the unity that Lincoln worked so tirelessly to preserve. This reverse design, with its intricate details and symbolism, has also become iconic in American coinage. But what makes the 1976 penny special isn't just its basic design, it's the context and minor details that make it unique in the bicentennial year. Now, let's take a look at the minting process of the 1976 penny. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies that year, as they were in high demand for everyday use. What sets the 1976 penny apart, however, is the minting process. Several factors played into the uniqueness of these coins, making them particularly interesting for collectors. In 1976, pennies were struck at two U.S. mint locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins struck in Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those produced in Denver feature a DE mint mark. This is an important distinction because coins from certain mints can have subtle variations that influence their value. Additionally, while the 1976 penny did not undergo significant design changes like other coins produced for the bicentennial, the sheer number of coins produced meant that some minor variations would naturally occur during the minting process. These variations can include slight differences in the strike or the alignment of the design. Errors, such as the famous double die variety, are another factor that contributes to the value of the coin. In cases where the die used to strike the coin misaligns or doubles, a coin can become much more valuable. While these errors are rare, finding one can significantly increase the value of a coin. A 1976 penny with such an error could fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Speaking of errors and varieties, the 1976 penny is one coin where collectors should keep their eyes peeled. Coin collecting enthusiasts and experts are always on the lookout for unique or rare coins that deviate from the typical design. As mentioned earlier, the double die error is one of the most famous and sought-after varieties in the 1976 penny series. A double die error occurs when the design of the coin is struck more than once, leading to a noticeable doubling of the letters and numbers on the coin. This is particularly noticeable on the date and the word Liberty on the obverse. Collectors value these coins for their rarity, and a well-preserved example could command a significant premium over regular, uncirculated 1976 pennies. Another rare variety of the 1976 penny is the close AM and wide AM varieties, which refer to the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse. In some coins, the letters are closer together, while in others, they are spaced further apart. The wide AM variety is considered rarer and more valuable. Another important consideration for the 1976 penny is the coin's condition, which directly impacts its value in the market. As with any collectible coin, the condition of the 1976 penny plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are in excellent condition, free from damage, scratches, or discoloration, are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. The coin's grade is determined using a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin with a grade of 70 is considered to be in perfect condition, while a grade of 60 or higher means the coin is in near mint or uncirculated condition. For the 1976 penny, the most valuable coins are those that are graded 65 or higher. These are coins that have been well preserved and show very little wear. However, even if your coin isn't perfect, it may still hold some value, particularly if it is free from major imperfections. As with any collectible, the rarity of high-quality examples of the 1976 penny increases its appeal to collectors. While the market for these coins may fluctuate, those that are well preserved and free of significant damage tend to command higher prices. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the current market value of the 1976 penny. As we've discussed, the value of this penny can vary widely depending on its condition, mint mark, and any rare varieties or errors it may have. The standard 1976 penny in average circulated condition is worth very little, essentially 1 cent. However, things change when you start looking at high-grade, uncirculated coins or coins with rare errors. If you're fortunate enough to own a 1976 penny in perfect, mint condition or with a rare error, it could easily fetch a price far above its face value. Depending on the rarity and demand for the coin, you might be able to sell a high-grade 1976 penny for several $100s. In particular, if you happen to have a 1976 penny with a significant error or a rare variety like the double die or wide AM, your penny could potentially be worth much more. Some of these rare varieties and error coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. But here's the kicker: if you have a pristine, high-grade example of the 1976 penny with one of these rare varieties, you could be holding onto a coin worth up to $50,000. Yes, you read that right. $50,000. In conclusion, The 1976 Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny is much more than just a simple piece of currency. It's a piece of American history, a reminder of the country's bicentennial celebrations, and a coin with significant value for collectors. Whether you're collecting for the love of history or as an investment, this penny is certainly worth paying attention to. So, next time you come across a 1976 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Keep in. Top 2. Today's deep dive into one of the most fascinating and collectible coins from American history, the United States of America Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1981. If you've ever wondered about the intricacies of this particular penny, and how it has become a coveted treasure for numismatists, you've come to the right place. This video is dedicated to everything you need to know about the 1981 penny, from its design and history to the factors that influence its value today. The 1981 penny, a small yet significant part of American coinage, was minted during a pivotal time in the United States. The 1980s marked a period of economic change, political shifts, and, of course, the continued evolution of American currency. The coinage of 1981 was produced against the backdrop of these developments, making it an important piece for collectors. As we journey through the details of the 1981 penny, it's important to note that while most pennies are considered small denominations, they hold a great deal of historical significance. They tell stories of the past, reflect economic conditions, and, in the case of rarer specimens, become valuable collectibles. So, let's begin by examining the basic details of the 1981 Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny. The 1981 penny, like its predecessors, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side of the coin. This design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has become one of the most recognizable symbols in the world. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is depicted in profile, with a solemn expression that reflects his leadership during one of the nation's most challenging times. The coin's inscription includes the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year of minting, which in this case is 1981. On the reverse, back, side of the coin, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a structure that symbolizes the strength and resolve of the United States. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this image has graced the reverse of the penny since 1959. Replacing the original wheat stalks. The Lincoln Memorial, located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., is a fitting tribute to President Lincoln's legacy and serves as a reminder of the values he stood for: unity, freedom, and equality. The 1981 penny, however, is not just a token of American history. It represents the continuation of a long tradition of coinage that dates back to the early days of the United States. The penny was first introduced in 1793, and over the years, it has undergone numerous changes. The 1981 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which began in 1959. This series was one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history, spanning several decades and witnessing the changes in American society. One of the most important things to note about the 1981 penny is that it was minted during a time of economic instability. The 1980s saw inflationary pressures and rising interest rates, which affected the U.S. economy. The penny, however, continued to be a vital part of everyday transactions, representing the lowest denomination in the currency system. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Pennies produced in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those produced in Denver bear the letter D on the reverse. The mint mark can be an important factor when evaluating the rarity and value of a coin, as some mints may produce fewer coins than others. This can make pennies from certain mints more desirable to collectors. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1981 penny special? Is there something unique about this particular year's penny that sets it apart from others? The truth is, while most 1981 pennies are worth only their face value, there are certain characteristics and conditions that can make them more valuable to collectors. Let's explore some of the key factors that influence the value of a 1981 penny. First, we must consider the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. The condition of the coin is one of the most important factors that can affect its value. A 1981 penny in excellent condition, with no visible signs of wear, will be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated. Collectors seek out coins in the best possible condition, as these are considered more desirable. Next, let's talk about errors and variations. Coin collectors are often on the lookout for pennies that were struck with mistakes or unusual characteristics. These errors can be caused by worn-out dies, misaligned strikes, or other factors during the minting process. Some errors are rare and highly sought after, which can drive up the value of a coin. For example, if a 1981 penny were to have an off-center strike or other noticeable flaws, it could be worth significantly more than a typical 1981 penny. Another factor that can affect the value of a 1981 penny is the number of coins produced. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of pennies every year, and some years see higher mintages than others. The 1981 penny, for example, had a relatively high mintage, but certain coins from that year may still be rarer due to minting variations, errors, or the number of coins in circulation. Now, let's take a moment to discuss why collectors are so passionate about acquiring coins like the 1981 penny. For many, collecting coins is more than just a hobby. It's a way to connect with history. Coins carry with them stories of the past, and each coin represents a piece of American heritage. The 1981 penny, with its striking design and historical significance, holds a place in the hearts of many collectors. If you're looking to evaluate the worth of your 1981 penny, it's essential to consider all the factors we've discussed. A coin in perfect condition, without any visible damage or wear, and one with a rare error or minting variation, could be worth more than you might expect. As we approach the final segment of our exploration into the 1981 penny, it's time to reveal the potential value of this coin in today's market. While most 1981 pennies are worth only their face value, there are some high-grade, error-prone, or unique specimens that have been sold for much higher prices. A 1981 penny in excellent condition, with rare characteristics, could be worth as much as $32,000 in today's market. So, there you have it. The value of a United States of America Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1981 can reach an impressive $32,000 for those rare, high-quality coins. If you happen to have one of these pennies in your collection, it might be worth a closer look. Who knows? You may have a hidden treasure on your hands. Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world of coin collecting. Happy hunting, and good luck with your search for rare and valuable coins. Top 3. The United States of America Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny 1980. If you've ever wondered how a simple penny could be worth so much, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating story of this coin, its background, and the reasons why a single 1980 penny might be worth a substantial amount. By the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much one of these rare pennies could fetch on the market. So stay tuned, and let's dive right in. The 1980 penny, produced as part of the United States ongoing coinage, carries a rich history that is deeply connected to the changing landscape of American currency. The 1980s were a transformative decade, not only politically and economically but also in terms of coin design and circulation. This was a time of economic challenges, and the Mint continued to release coins that would go on to carry historical significance. The United States Mint, which operates under the Department of the Treasury, was responsible for the production of these pennies. The 1980 penny, like all others in the series, was made primarily of copper, although in later years, other materials were introduced into its composition. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and is 1.52 millimeters thick. Despite these seemingly ordinary measurements, the value of the 1980 penny can differ greatly depending on a few key factors, which we'll explore in this video. One of the main reasons why the 1980 penny has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike is its design. The penny, which features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's portrait is a symbol of freedom, unity, and the preservation of the Union. It's one of the most iconic designs in American coinage and has remained unchanged for over a century, with only minor adjustments made over the years. On the reverse side of the penny, we see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design replaced the original wheat stalks on the reverse in 1959. The memorial, situated in Washington, D.C., is a symbol of Lincoln's leadership and the ideals he stood for. It's a fitting tribute to a president who played such a crucial role in the history of the United States. The 1980 penny is part of a long-standing tradition of Lincoln pennies, and even though it may seem like a small, unremarkable coin, it carries with it a sense of history and pride that few other coins can match. But what makes the 1980 penny so special is not just its design, it's also its rarity and the particularities of its minting process. Some pennies from this year were struck with unusual characteristics that make them particularly valuable. In fact, while most 1980 pennies are worth their face value, there are specific variants of this coin that have been known to fetch substantial amounts at auctions. One of the key factors influencing a penny's value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin, known as mint state. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. This means that a penny in mint state, with no visible wear and tear, would be worth significantly more than one that has been circulated for many years. Additionally, collectors often look for coins that have been struck with rare errors or unusual characteristics. For example, some 1980 pennies were struck with slight die variations or other imperfections that make them unique. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors, and their value can increase dramatically due to their rarity. If you happen to find a 1980 penny with one of these errors, it could be worth significantly more than a typical penny. Another factor to consider when determining the value of a 1980 penny is the minting location. Pennies produced by the United States Mint in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those produced in Denver feature the letter D on the reverse side. The location of the mint can affect the rarity of a particular coin, and in some cases, pennies minted in one location are worth more than those from another. While the differences may seem small, they can make a significant impact on the coin's value. In addition to the basic characteristics of the coin itself, it's important to consider the market demand for certain types of pennies. The numismatic world is full of dedicated collectors and investors who are willing to pay top dollar for rare and valuable coins. As with any collectible item, the more sought after a particular coin is, the higher its value. The 1980 penny has, over the years, become a highly desirable coin for many collectors, and its value has steadily increased. If you have a 1980 penny in your collection and are wondering how much it might be worth, the answer is not always straightforward. While the majority of 1980 pennies are still only worth their face value, there are specific examples that have sold for considerable sums. Depending on factors like mint mark, condition, and rarity, a 1980 penny could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to thousands of dollars. But that's not the end of the story. Certain high-grade, error-prone, or unique 1980 pennies have been known to sell for even more. As we conclude our journey through the world of the 1980 penny, let's take a look at the potential value of a well-preserved, rare coin from this year. Some of the more rare 1980 pennies, particularly those in excellent condition, can sell for as much as $35,000 at auction, depending on their grade and specific characteristics. And with that, we've reached the big reveal. The value price of a United States of America Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1980 can be as much as $35,000 for those rare, high-quality specimens that collectors are eager to add to their collections. So if you have one of these pennies in your pocket or collection, it might just be worth a lot more than you thought. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating videos about the world of coin collecting. Happy hunting! Top 4. We're going to discuss the history, design, minting process, and most importantly, the value of the 1978 penny, which has become a collector's item for many coin enthusiasts. By the end of this video, you'll gain a deep appreciation for why this particular penny is so valuable and why it might just be worth checking your coin jar or change pocket. Buckle up, because this journey into the world of coin collecting is one you don't want to miss. And as always, we'll reveal the value of this penny at the very end of the video, so stay tuned. Before we dive deep into the details of the coin, let's take a moment to look back at the historical backdrop of the year 1978. The 1970s were a transformative decade for the United States, following the turmoil of the Vietnam War and the resignation of President Richard Nixon. In 1978, the country was in a period of recovery, both socially and economically. The political climate was stabilizing, and the nation was beginning to look toward the future. However, the economic conditions were challenging. Inflation was high, and the country was facing some difficult choices. Despite these economic struggles, the mint continued to produce coins that would go on to become important in both everyday currency and as collectibles. The penny, in particular, continued to be a staple of American coinage. The 1978 penny holds a unique place in history, not just for its design, but because it marks the continuation of a long-standing tradition in American coinage that began with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The design of the 1978 penny might seem familiar to many, but the history behind it is rich with significance. On the obverse side of the penny, we see the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The likeness was first designed by Victor David Brenner and was introduced in 1909 to mark Lincoln's centennial birthday. Lincoln's profile on the penny is a powerful image, signifying not only the president's leadership during one of the most difficult times in American history, but also his legacy as a symbol of freedom and unity. The design of Lincoln's head is so iconic that it has remained virtually unchanged since its introduction, making it one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. On the reverse side of the penny, we find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959. The memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln, and the reverse side of the coin captures the grandeur and majesty of this national landmark. The design was created by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. Gasparo's design of the Lincoln Memorial is meticulously detailed, with an inscription that reads, E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many one. This phrase, along with the depiction of the memorial, reinforces the ideals of unity and democracy that Lincoln championed throughout his life and presidency. The 1978 penny, despite being produced alongside millions of others, continues to captivate collectors because of its timeless design and symbolic value. But as we'll see, it's not just the design that makes this coin stand out, it's the subtle variations and minting processes that can make certain 1978 pennies even more valuable. Now that we've discussed the design of the 1978 penny, let's take a closer look at the minting process. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in 1978, and these coins were struck at two primary minting locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While both locations produced pennies with the same design, the mint mark, if present, can influence a coin's potential value. Pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint do not have a mint mark, while those produced at the Denver Mint are marked with a D. This small difference can have a big impact on the coin's rarity and value. For example, in some cases the D mint mark can indicate that fewer coins were produced in Denver, thus making them slightly more valuable in certain cases. Additionally, some coins from this year might have been produced with slight variations or imperfections due to the minting process itself. These variations can include subtle changes in the strike quality, die errors, or other minor differences that collectors are keen to find. Coins that are struck more cleanly or with fewer imperfections are often considered more desirable and can fetch higher prices on the market. As with any collectible coin, the condition or grade of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A coin that has been well preserved, without much wear or damage, will generally command a higher price. The 1978 penny is no exception. A penny in good condition may show considerable wear, with the design softened and less distinct. A penny in fine condition will show more detail, though there may still be some wear. For a penny to be considered uncirculated, it must appear as though it just came from the mint, with no signs of circulation whatsoever. These high-grade coins are often the most sought after by collectors. If you happen to have a 1978 penny in MS-65, or better, mint state 65, you could be holding a coin that is significantly more valuable than one that has been circulated for many years. Coins that are graded highly often end up in the hands of serious collectors or investors, and their prices can skyrocket accordingly. You might be wondering, at this point, just how much a 1978 penny could actually be worth. While most pennies from this era are valued at face value, there are exceptions. Collectible pennies, particularly those in pristine condition or with unique characteristics, can fetch significant sums at auction or among coin dealers. Now, if you happen to have a 1978 penny in excellent condition, whether it's from Philadelphia or Denver, it's possible that your coin could be worth far more than the 1 cent it was originally intended to be. Depending on factors like mintmark, condition, and rarity, some 1978 pennies have been known to sell for as much as $45,000 in recent auctions. This price tag is for a rare, high-quality coin that has been carefully preserved. As a collector, finding a coin like this could significantly boost your collection's value. Even pennies in slightly lesser condition might command a price of $30,000 to $40,000, depending on their specific characteristics. Top 5. If you've ever come across a 1989 Lincoln penny and wondered what makes it so special, or if you're just starting your journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting, you're in for an exciting adventure. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1989 United States Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stick with us as we break down its history, design, rare variations, minting process, and what makes certain versions of this penny worth so much more than their face value. You might just find that you have a hidden treasure in your pocket. Now, let's start with a brief look at the penny's historical background. The Lincoln penny, as it's known today, was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a portrait of a real person, and the design has remained iconic ever since. The design we see on the 1989 penny is a continuation of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was introduced in 1959. This design showcases the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, while the obverse side displays the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln himself. The penny has had a long and storied history, and the 1989 version is a significant part of that legacy. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1989 penny. On the obverse, the image of Abraham Lincoln is prominent and proud. This depiction of Lincoln, created by the artist Victor David Brenner, is a timeless representation of the 16th President of the United States. He is shown in profile, with his signature beard and top hat, which became symbolic of his role in American history. The inscription on the obverse includes, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the year 1989, which makes this penny instantly identifiable. On the reverse of the coin, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a monumental structure that stands as a symbol of Lincoln's enduring legacy. The Lincoln Memorial was chosen as the design for the reverse of the penny in 1959, replacing the previous design of 2 wheat stalks. This design by Frank Gasparo captures the grandeur and solemnity of the memorial, which is located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The memorial itself is a tribute to Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War, and the coin's reverse side evokes a sense of reverence and respect for the man and his accomplishments. The 1989 penny, like all pennies minted during this time, was made from a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. While the design and materials of the penny have remained relatively unchanged for many years, it's important to note that the 1989 penny was produced during a significant time in American history. The 1980s were a period of significant economic change in the United States, marked by inflation, rising interest rates, and various political shifts. Despite these changes, the penny continued to circulate, serving as a small but essential part of the nation's currency. In terms of its production, the 1989 penny was minted in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Pennies produced in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those produced in Denver are marked with a small d on the reverse. The minting process of 1989 pennies followed the standard procedures used by the U.S. Mint at the time, but there are certain key factors that can influence the value of individual pennies. One of the most significant factors is the condition of the coin. Coin collectors are often on the lookout for high-quality examples of coins, and condition is one of the primary factors that can influence a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1989 penny in uncirculated condition, with no visible wear or damage, will typically be worth more than a penny that has been heavily circulated. Collectors often seek out coins that are in the best possible condition, as these coins are seen as more desirable and are often worth more in the market. Another important aspect of the 1989 penny is the potential for minting errors. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has occasionally produced coins with errors during the minting process. These errors can include misprints, off-center strikes, double strikes, or other variations that make a particular coin unique. In the world of coin collecting, errors can be highly valuable, and some coins with minting errors have sold for much higher prices than their face value. So, if you happen to find a 1989 penny with an unusual error, it could significantly increase its value. Now, let's delve into the specific details that make certain 1989 pennies more valuable than others. One of the key factors that can make a 1989 penny more valuable is its rarity. In some years, certain mintages are lower than others, making the coins from those years more scarce and, therefore, more valuable. While the mintage of the 1989 penny was relatively high, certain variations, such as those with minting errors, can be much rarer. For example, a 1989 penny with an off-center strike or other unique error could fetch a higher price among collectors. Additionally, the type of mint where the penny was produced can affect its value. As mentioned earlier, pennies produced in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those produced in Denver have the DE mint mark. Pennies from certain mints may be more desirable to collectors, especially if the mintage from that mint was lower or if the coin has other distinguishing characteristics. Over the years, the value of certain 1989 pennies has increased significantly. In general, a well-preserved 1989 penny in good condition will be worth more than its face value of 1 cent, but the most valuable examples are those that are either in pristine condition or have some sort of rare variation. If you happen to come across a 1989 penny in excellent condition, it's worth getting it appraised by a professional to determine its true value. In the world of coin collecting, it's not just about the face value of a coin. It's about the rarity, the history, and the condition. While a typical 1989 penny may only be worth a few cents, the value of certain rare or error coins can soar to much higher levels. So, how much is a 1989 penny really worth? The truth is, a 1989 penny that is in pristine, uncirculated condition or has a unique error could be worth thousands of dollars. In fact, if you have a rare, high-grade example of a 1989 penny, it could be worth as much as $32,000 to the right buyer. So, if you happen to find a penny from 1989 in your collection or among your spare change, it might be worth a closer look. As we wrap up our deep dive into the United States of America, Washington Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1989, it's important to remember that the value of coins can fluctuate over time, and factors such as demand, rarity, and condition play a significant role in determining their worth. For some collectors, a 1989 penny in excellent condition could fetch an impressive price, and the coin may continue to increase in value as time goes on. Thank you for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1989 penny and its value, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin collecting insights. And if you think you might have a rare 1989 penny on your hands, don't forget to get it appraised. It might just be worth more than you think. Happy collecting, and good luck with your coin hunts.